I don't know. All right. This is better. This is better. It's still a little off, but it's better. I mean, I can tell on my end it's better, so it's got to be better on your end. It's still not great, though. I don't know what's going on. No idea. Very weird. I'm literally sitting here with my iced hand. All right. Are we decent at least, folks, on YouTube? Oh, I got to get back into Discord, too. Discord. YouTube, are we decent or not? So that's my impression exactly. I can tell on my end it's a little spotty, but it's not terrible. All right, hold on. There we go. All right. There we go. I've got my surgery hand here going. So, wow, it really is a little goofy on Chrome. It is funny though, because like for Discord, of course, it's totally normal, which is also fascinating. You know what I mean? We've been having problems here with Hey Moonlit. I am back. We're having a little issue here. Yeah, YouTube, it's the best we're gonna get. It doesn't make any sense. This is Chrome. This is a Chrome problem. So, all right, I'm starting TikTok. This is a Chrome problem, unfortunately. So, and actually, I'm going to take off my glove now because it's been 20 minutes. Actually, you know what? As we're doing this, I'm going to put my glove in the freezer. All right. There we go. All right. Okay, we're better. I have to keep my hand up. So, yes, I had my little hand surgery today. But, yeah, weird, huh? I really don't want to have to buy a new laptop, but I think I'm going to have to buy a new laptop because this is just incredibly annoying. This is because Chrome updated something. Yeah. Trump now says there's a truce. What does that mean? Let's see. Let me see. Ugh. Let's see. Hell, good welcome. Good welcome. What am I, Pilgrim? Good welcome, TikTok. Welcome, TikTok. Guys, having kind of a crazy day here. Yeah, I'm hearing everybody talking about a ceasefire now, which is fascinating. All right, all right, Trump just tweeted, congratulations to everyone. It has been fully agreed by, of course, now I don't get to push freaking ceasefire as my title of the live. Can't I change the title of my live? I thought I could. Am I crazy here? I totally thought I could change the title of the live. Oops, that's my timer saying, take the ice off my hand. Am I crazy about this? I'm just looking here to see. No. I can't find it because now, of course, I can't tell everybody in the live that there's a ceasefire. You know what, guys? I'm almost tempted to kill the live and start again because there's a ceasefire, which is a big deal. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. What do you mean it's a lie? It's on Trump's Twitter feed. It's a lie. Wow. 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 Okay, this is wild. You know what? I'm restarting the feed, guys. This is important. We're coming right back. Yeah, I can't have TikTok not mention that there's a freaking ceasefire. All right, hold on a second. That is a big deal, though. It's a very big deal that there's a ceasefire. There we go. All right. We're going live again. Yeah, that's a big deal. Obviously, huge deal. All right. There we go. All right, much better. Wow. Trump is dying for his Nobel Prize, you know. You just know he's dying for his Nobel. Absolutely. Absolutely, positively. Hold on. I'm realizing as I'm doing this with you that, ow, there we go. Oh, my elbow is killing me. I've had my elbow sitting on the table because of my surgery, and like I forgot these things you learn, like with an elbow on the table, it actually hurts after a while. Very interesting. Let me close. I'm closing a couple other pieces of software to see if they're not going to help on my computer. I'm clearly going to have to buy a new computer, which is really annoying me. But what do? You know what? I'm closing Signal too. Callum, you're not going to be able to message. Anyway, I had trigger finger surgery on my hand today, so my hand is all wrapped up. But I'm putting something under my elbow because I didn't even think about it. And I've been sitting here because you have to keep your hand above your heart. I've been sitting here with my hand on the table. All of a sudden, my elbow is going, ow, things they don't tell you. So welcome, everybody. There is a ceasefire. This is pretty wild. I need to put on my TV as well, and I will read this to you. This is very interesting. Not World War IV, because World War III just ended. Trump is dying for his Nobel Prize. Absolutely dying for it. Let's see if my YouTube TV actually lets me pull up the right Oh no, it's okay. They're live. Well, when they come back for the commercial, we'll see. All right. So let me read you this from Trump. So there's a ceasefire, guys. Trump just tweeted, "Congratulations to everyone. It has been fully agreed by and between." Oh God, English is not his first language. It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire. Complete and total. He tries to be smart in the way that people who aren't smart try to be smart. So he tries to use language to make me sound intelligent. It's like ChatGPT, make me sound intelligent. A complete and total ceasefire in approximately 6 hours from now, when Israel and Iran have wound down and completed their in-progress final missions. For 12 hours, at which point the war will be considered ended. I don't know what that means. It's been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire in approximately 6 hours from now for 12 hours, at which point the war will be considered ended officially, Iran will start the ceasefire, and, upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire, and, upon the 24th hour, what? Upon the 24th hour, an official end to the 12th day war will be saluted by the world. Is this a scam? Did somebody share this as a lie, or is this for real? This is from Trump's own rapid response people. I have to retweet this as I'm talking to you guys. This tweet from Trump about the ceasefire doesn't make any sense. This is the weirdest. I have no idea what's going on. This makes no sense whatsoever. During each ceasefire, the other side will remain peaceful and respectful on the assumption that everything works as it should, which it will. I would like to congratulate both countries, because in Trump English, you capitalize country, Israel and Iran, on having the stamina, courage, and intelligence to end what should be called the 12-day war. He wants to name it too. He thinks he has a better chance of getting a Nobel if he names it. This is a war that could have gone on for years and destroyed the entire Middle East, but it didn't and never will. God bless Israel. God bless Iran. God bless the Middle East. God bless the United States of America. And God bless the world. I kid you not. He said all of this. I have no idea what this means. So there's a ceasefire. We have no idea. I'm asking ChatGPT, what the hell does this mean? Hold on. Although I'm going to guess somebody else. I'm going to guess somebody else. I'm going to have to Google now and see that somebody else did a better job explaining the ceasefire than Donald Trump. I mean, CNN still got a commercial going on. Seriously, CNN? Okay. ChatGPT seems to think hours 0. Okay, this is bizarre. Hours 0 to 12, Iran begins the ceasefire. Hour 12 to 24, Israel joins the ceasefire. After hour 24, the war is officially declared over. Seems to be what it means. I mean, I know it's all over the news. I'm going to pull up another Let's pull up my New York Times. He doesn't speak. He's so desperate for the Nobel Prize. New York Times doesn't have it on their homepage yet. Wow. New York Times literally doesn't have the story yet. All right. Well, I'm going to go to Twitter and let's see when. Here we go. All right. Let's see what CNN says. Really private. Mods, get rid of private. Oh, God. Vance is calling it the 12-day war, too. Trump is desperate to name the war. This is funny. Oh, really? The Palestinians are back to harass us. That's nice. Hearing what?
There's a lot we need to learn about this, and I want to kind of level set with everyone that we don't know a ton about the dynamics of this or how it's all going to work.
So the White House.
Your initial reaction to this announcement.
Okay, the White House has told nobody what. The White House has told nobody how this works. He literally issued his tweet that makes no sense because he wants credit for it. So, I mean, there's lots of news overall about what's going on, but Trump just announced a ceasefire between Iran and Israel. Makes no sense. Yeah, I think we do need to go to MSNBC. MSNBC? Because CNN is like interviewing. I doubt MSNBC has it either. No details. MSNBC has a commercial. That's really helpful. CNN. Yeah, they've all got commercials on. This is nice. Yeah. Yeah, there's no news. I mean, not no news, but we don't. Oh, my arm is killing me. Oh, man. Absolutely killing me. So there's a ceasefire. Trump announced it in gibberish. Sadly, he used the language he's fluent in, gibberish, not English. I'm going to read this to you one more time because it makes no sense what Trump wrote. There is a ceasefire. That's great. Or there's a ceasefire coming. But Trump wrote it in gibberish. The problem is all the media has the same thing. They have Trump's announcement. Somebody's saying, well, I'm not going to believe what somebody's saying about Iran until I see the report that it's coming from. CNN isn't reporting anything. I've got CNN on. So what are you talking about? Yeah, I'm not going to trust anybody until somebody gets me a source. Some people are saying Iran's denying it. Yeah, one word answers like BBC or NBC don't really help me. So, right, guys, you're citing the names of news sources to me. How it's supposed to help? Is this a game we're playing? What are you doing? So yeah, you're giving me names of news sites. I don't quite know how that's supposed to help me. So, guys, just seriously, you're all going to get blocked in about 2 seconds. Yeah, it's not funny. Yeah, so we have no idea what's going on. Trump mods, just start muting people who are doing that because it's rude, and I think they're trolls at this point. That's right. Anybody posting, yeah, you're all going to get blocked if you don't want to come back to the show. Feel free. So Trump put up a tweet saying that there's a ceasefire. His tweet makes no sense, but it might be real, but it makes no sense. But I'm going to assume there is a ceasefire. I'm going to try this one more time. Congratulations to everyone. It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire in approximately 6 hours from now when Israel and Iran have wound down and completed their in-progress final missions for 12 hours. So in 6 hours, in 6 hours, there will be a ceasefire for 12 hours. At which point the war will be considered ended officially. That's the 18th hour. Iran will start the ceasefire, and upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire. What? Okay, Iran starts the ceasefire for 6 hours. Then Israel joins in 6 hours, and on the 12th hour, what? Upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire. This literally makes no sense. We're going to have to wait. The problem is somebody at the White House is going to have to report this because what Trump tweeted makes absolutely no sense. he's saying there's a ceasefire. I believe him. He's not going to lie about it, right? I mean, it's Trump, but come on, he's not going to lie about a ceasefire. But I'm literally reading you. I'm just going to read the tweet again. You guys see what you make. Congratulations to everyone. It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire in approximately 6 hours from now, when Israel and Iran have wound down and completed their in-progress final missions for 12 hours, at which point the war will be considered ended. Officially, Iran will start the ceasefire, and upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire, and upon the 24th hour, an official end to the 12-day war will be saluted. During each ceasefire, the other side will remain peaceful and respectful. So don't be mean to each other. On the assumption that everything works as it should, which it will, I would like to congratulate both countries on having the stamina, courage, and intelligence to end what should be called the 12-day war. J.D. Vance is calling it, Trump wants to name the war for some reason. This is a war that could have gone on for years and destroyed the entire Middle East, but it... He's writing his Nobel Prize pitch. That's what this is. This is his Nobel Prize pitch. This is a war that could have gone on for years and destroyed the entire Middle East, but it didn't and never will. He left out the part, of course, because he stopped it. God bless Israel. God bless Iran. God bless the Middle East. God bless the United States of America. And God bless the world, because I won a Nobel Prize. Oh, my God. I mean... absolutely crazy. So, man, ow, my hand is annoying me. Ow, my elbow is killing me. This is very strange. So, yeah, there's apparently a ceasefire. Trump is trying to get a Nobel. I don't think the problem is we don't have any information beyond Trump's tweet, and Trump's tweet is incoherent. It's absolutely incoherent. I'm there you go. Now, this is a good thing. It's a little surprising, actually, because there's a lot of news today. Last night, Trump started talking about regime change, about overthrowing the Iranian government, which is fascinating. That now all of a sudden he'd be talking about Marie. I do need a pillow under my arm. 1 second. I'm going to get something better for my arm. Actually, I've got a pillow here. That's a good idea. 1 second. I got a good small pillow. Oh. There we go. Nice small pillow. This should do better. Oh, because my elbow is literally like, ow. The problem is now my elbow is like sore, the nerve. CBS, let's see, but I don't think CBS is going to have any more details beyond his tweet. Yeah, this makes no sense. Yeah, CBS literally has his tweet. Bottom line is, Trump tweeted that there's going to be a ceasefire. He wrote it in gibberish, so it's incomprehensible. We have no idea what the details are. But what it probably does mean, which Elliot just said, the Strait of Hormuz won't get closed, which is great, right? The world's oil won't get shut down, which is great. So there's a lot of, thank you, Doug, for recommending that. There's a lot of good news to this. Okay, CNN's reporter, they're still reporting on Trump's tweet. In an interview on Fox News that began moments ago, Vice President J.D. Vance praised Trump for getting the deal across the finish line. We were actually working on that just as I left the White House to come over here, so that's good news. The president was able to get across the line. They are desperate for Trump to get credit for this. Vance also said he read a draft of Trump's post 2 minutes before we went on the air, and that it was a little different from what the president had shown me a couple hours ago. But again, I knew that he was working. So Vance is admitting that the tweet makes no sense. He goes, I read the tweet. It was a little different than what he showed me before. Bottom line is, I can't imagine Trump is going to be claiming that there's a ceasefire if there's no ceasefire. Right. Oh, Dawn, is it? So that's for real. That's for real. Dawn is saying Iran is saying no. I believe Dawn. Interesting if Iran is saying no. I can't, okay. Did I literally just say Trump wouldn't lie about this? Did somebody get a wet noodle? Did I actually say Trump wouldn't lie? Iran has not received any ceasefire proposal and sees no reason for one, a senior Iranian official told CNN. Well, although the only problem is that's a third party reporting it. I really would like to see, hold on. Oh my God, this is hilarious. Let's go back to CNN's homepage here. You'd think it would be in CNN's story. Trump says neither Iran nor Israel has made any comments. No, they don't have the update yet. This is one of those times when Twitter has a better update than anything else. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see who else we've got here. Everybody I follow. I'm looking at Twitter. We're trying to. You should trust CNN. CNN's a very good news source. But I'm trying to. Hello. What are you doing? There we go. I follow a lot of really good a lot of good defense folks on Twitter. And Twitter, except my iPad's melting down right now, Twitter is usually very good for stuff like this. Defense people on Twitter, that I follow. All right, let's see what they're saying. Oops. All right, go over here. All right. Now, one here, Axios has got theirs. I don't know that Axios has it too. No. Oh God. This is what we elected him for. Anyway, my question for those of you like Dawn, for people saying CNN said that, do you know CNN said that, or somebody we don't trust said CNN said that? Which, like, what is your source for saying CNN said it? Because, like, I just read some guy on Twitter saying that, but I'm not going to trust some guy on Twitter saying that. Yeah, I don't ever go to Fox. Fox is not real news. Now, Fox might have more news than. All right, let me look at the banner. No. No. Not seeing anything on the banner right now. Although the banner's got a lot of different news on it. You'd think they would have put. You'd think if this were the case, CNN would put it on their screen, right? Let's see. Oh God, yeah, that's not helping. Let's see what Caitlin Collins is saying. Nope, she has nothing new either. This is weird, guys. Right, I want to know what the source is for people saying. I was on CNN's website. I don't know what that means. It's on CNN's website. Folks, stop saying the word CNN. It doesn't help. I'm on CNN's website. There's nothing on here that says Iran doesn't accept it. So, yeah, it's literally not there. I'm right here. So, yeah, there's just nothing here. Looking again, but True Social's irrelevant. Okay, seriously? Fine, I will go to Reuters and see. I don't think any of this is going to be very helpful. Let's see. Reuters, of course, is going to try to get me to pay. Yeah, Reuters doesn't have it either. So anyway. Yeah, there is no CNN article. I'm looking at this stuff. The CNN article literally just has the summary of what Trump just said. So, one sec here. Yeah, see, now they're talking about Fetterman. Now they're on to other topics anyway. CNN's doing that thing it does where they like, there's breaking news and then they have to have like a group thing, which is really annoying. Let's see here. 1 second, guys. Still trying to get this stuff with Iran. All right. Yep. CNN is being absolutely useless. Yeah, BBC does not say that. I'm looking at BBC right now. So yeah. Well, somebody I trust is going to have to get me an article because there's nothing. I'm looking at BBC. There's literally nothing saying what you're all saying. So it says Iran and Israel have not confirmed it. That's not denying it. That just means they can't get a comment from them. Seriously, just send me a damn article, somebody. Well, no, the reason I don't believe it is because people get these things wrong all the time. I'm very old, and I've seen people all the time say, oh, it confirmed it, or whatever, and then you go read the article, and it doesn't say it. So Sky News does tend to be very good. Let's see what they're saying. All right. Sky News is update on this. We're trying to see the all right, hold on. All right. Barely 6 hours after Iran launched missiles towards a U.S. base in Qatar, Donald Trump said a ceasefire. It appears to have allayed concerns of a wider conflict. I don't know. Yeah, there's literally nothing on Sky News. So I don't know why you guys keep saying this. There's none of these news sites. By the way, mods, just start muting anybody. Anybody who starts mentioning news sites now, I'm going to mute you guys because I don't quite know why you're doing it. It's not helpful. So seriously, stop putting the names of news sites up. You're annoying me. So I will check the Wall Street Journal, which I subscribe to, but it's not on CNN. I've got CNN on the whole time. It's not on CNN. And I've just gone through CNN's website repeatedly. It's not there. So, all right. Wall Street Journal. All right. Yeah. All of these websites, by the way, say they haven't been able to get, Lynn says Plotkin said it, but what? Plotkin said the Iranians denied it? Because CNN's not saying that, which is what I've had CNN on for the last 10, 15 minutes. They're literally not saying that, which is interesting and frankly malpractice if it's true. If it's true that CNN's correspondent is in Iran and said the Iranians say it's not true, and CNN hasn't repeated that in 15 minutes of reporting, would be pretty bad. 55 minutes ago? Yeah, have not returned request for comment. No. Yeah, I'm in CNN's live feed. Yeah. Nothing there. I'm in CNN's live feed. There's absolutely nothing there. So, yeah, Magic Knight, send me an article in Discord. That might not be the worst thing to do. There's nothing on, again, unless you can find me a link. I don't mean to be rude, guys, but for example, all the articles are saying the same thing. All the articles are saying we've not been able to get confirmation from Iran or Israel. That is not the same thing as Iran or Israel say it's not true. We're trying to get confirmation of the fact that the Iranians are allegedly saying we don't know anything about a ceasefire. The thing I've learned to be cautious with is, and like I said, I'm a man of a certain age, but people get things wrong and they read stuff and they get it wrong. I was editing my blog. I had a big political blog that I edited for years, and my guys would write stuff sometimes, and I would go and look at the original sources and be like, they got it wrong. For example, all the news sources I'm finding are saying, we have not been able to get confirmation. The Iranians have not confirmed this, nor has Israel. That means they reached out to Iran and couldn't get a comment from anybody. That does not mean the Iranians say no, right? Trump, This would be pretty bad. Now, again, Trump might be right. I would have to say he's got to be right. How could he not be right? Right? I mean, that would be insane if Trump weren't right about this. Okay, there we go. Somebody did post in Middle East. Let me go check it out. Hopefully it doesn't jump me out of the live, but it might. All right. Okay, somebody did. Thank you, Makeshift. Makeshift Magic did find an article from Fred Pleitgen 56 minutes ago. Iran has not received any ceasefire proposal and sees no reason for one, a senior Iranian official told CNN. The official said Iran would continue to fight. At this moment, the enemy is committed aggressor. Okay, thank you, Magic, for sharing that. Okay, so that's very, Jaylene as well. Thank you, guys. Okay, thank you. Now, here's the problem with that, too. CNN's guy, who's very good, Frederick Pleitgen, right? He says 56 minutes ago. Let me make sure I'm actually live in the live. 1 second, guys. All right. Hold on. I've got to make sure I'm live again here with you all because I can't see. Okay. I am still live with you guys on Discord, right? This is why I'm suspicious again. CNN's guy says 55 minutes ago that Iran has not confirmed the story, but CNN is not repeating that. I mean, if CNN's guy was told an hour ago that Iran says, we don't know anything about this, why aren't they repeating it? It worries me that CNN may have retracted the story. Thank you, Marcia, right? For example, what if CNN's guy an hour ago talked to somebody in Iran and said, that's bull, that didn't happen, right? And then they talked to him again and he went, oh, well, maybe I just didn't know about it, right? That's possible. So that's why I'm suspicious. There's something going on here because, again, I've had CNN on for the last 20 minutes. They have not mentioned Iran denying it, which means they pulled, I almost guarantee you they pulled the story. CNN's one of the best news sources out there, actually, along with New York Times and a few others, Wall Street Journal, that you should absolutely trust because they're one of the only objective news sources out there. Other ones, too many of the other ones, certainly all the Republican ones, you can't trust. Fox News, they're all for political party. MSNBC, unfortunately, tends to be Democrats, which I don't really trust them either, so to speak. CNN, at least, is honest. Wall Street Journal, New York Times. And again, some people get upset about that because they're not used to having news sources that don't give you one party's point of view. So when they meet a news source that actually, for example, they find a news source like CNN that actually criticizes their party, they freak out because they've never watched news where it criticizes their own party. So they assume isn't it kind of fascinating? They assume it's bias because it's criticizing their own party, right? Whereas they don't understand that real news like CNN criticized Biden like crazy and now criticizes Trump like crazy. Remember how often CNN talked about Biden's age? Bottom line is, ask yourself, how much did CNN criticize Biden? All the time. His age thing especially, and trying to hound him out of office all the time. How much does Fox News criticize Trump? Could you find an example? Can you find an example of Fox News criticizing Trump? I mean, that would be that's my only comparison to say is go and see how much does CNN criticize Biden? Did it? And how much does Fox criticize? I think I would be surprised if you could find Fox News criticizing Trump at all. I'd be very surprised. Whereas CNN destroyed Biden. So anyway, CNN is not as bad as Fox. CNN is one of the best news networks out there. And, people feel the need to diminish news outlets. And I think that's part of what is hurting the country. Thank you, Marsha, for the popcorn. Keep the gifts coming, by the way, guys. I didn't do my gift pitch because we got going with this news. Trump is claiming that there is a ceasefire. Iran an hour ago said, an Iranian official said he wasn't familiar with it. But as I said, I think, Elton John glasses. Who was that from? Big Hawk? Thank you, Big Hawk. I think that was indicative of the Iranian official. Thank you. Thank you, Blue. I think that was indicative of the Iranian official not being aware. Update. Iranian official. Who is this from? This is an editor of some Arab-ish publication. Amwaj Media. I don't know who this is, but Barack Ravid published it. Okay, by the way, I was right. The ceasefire denial was false. I knew it. Update. Iranian sources confirmed that ceasefire with Israel expected to soon go into effect. According to one source, Israel will stop firing at 3:30 a.m. Jerusalem time, with Iran anticipated to follow suit. I told you so. Now, that does not mean that some of you didn't see the CNN report, because that was true. The CNN report was wrong. And that's why it wasn't repeated again. Yeah. So the ceasefire is real. Interesting. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, this is a good thing. I mean, generally speaking, it's a good thing, right? But this is very interesting. Iran wasn't ahead. That's the thing. I mean, come on. Somebody said, why would Iran quit when they were ahead? Guys, Iran was not doing well here. Israel was doing very well. Israel took out half of Iran's missiles, at least half of their missile launchers, a lot of the government ministries, a lot of the troops, the senior leadership. No senior leaders of Israel were taken out. We don't know of a single Israeli weapon taken out, actually. Think about it, guys. Think the number of Iranian weapons destroyed. We don't know of a single Israeli weapon that was destroyed. None. Israeli controlled the airspace. Exactly, Michael. Israel had air supremacy, where they literally flew at will. Israel was winning. The question with these thank you, Marsha. The question with these battles is, even if you're winning, you still have to say, what's the end game? What's the victory, right? For example, if America were to attack Iran all out, we would be winning, but could we win, right? What would we have to do to win? And that's the question. And what would winning be? Or would we get into a nonstop battle where we just keep firing? Think of Saddam Hussein in Iraq, right? It went on for a while, even though we were firing quite a lot. It went on for a while. So yes, it can be very difficult to sort of get to the end game. Oh, hey, Mishka. So very interesting. Yeah. So very interesting. This is it's so basic. I mean, what's funny is last night Trump was calling for regime change in Iran. So, Israel did a lot of damage again today. Actually, today was very interesting. And honestly, this could have been what got the Iranians to agree to it. I've got all my notes here, but this kind of threw my notes out the window for tonight. Israel took out a lot of Iran's basically things that were supporting the regime. They went after a prison housing political prisoners and blew the prison open. These are people like journalists and activists that were arrested. They finally went after the Basij, which is the sort of paramilitary group the Iranian dictators use to go after dissidents and stuff like that. So it was starting to get very interesting in terms of Trump and the Israelis going after people in Iran that would be. So look at my fingers still, man, so weird. Going after people that would going after the regime, basically, and the regime's power. Very interesting, the entire thing. ABC News is very reliable. Yes. You should not worry about ABC News. I had hand surgery today, but it's weird because it's numb. So it's a little scary how numb it is. It's freaking me out a little bit, but I mean, it's supposed to be numb for, 6 to 10 hours, maybe more. But it's just a little cold, but I checked it. It's not too tight. I was a little worried about it being tight, but I've checked everything, so it's definitely not tight. So should be okay. Just a little weird. Anyway. Oh man. Ow. Yeah. The Revolutionary Guard, they went after everybody. You forgot to connect a nerve. There you go. This is funny. Now the Palestinians are coming and harassing us. Remember, it's been a while then the Palestinians haven't tried to harass our show. Thank you, Marsha. I've got 2 of them now. Remember, they've been gone for a while now. Now they're trying to come in today again. Very annoying. So I mean, look, one concern I've got is, and one hopes Trump, I mean, you're dealing with Donald Trump, who the hell knows? One hopes that Trump got confirmation first. But the update is that a ceasefire was announced between Israel and Iran. And in 24 hours, if they hold the ceasefire, it becomes the war ends. Thank you, Marcia. Now, from the U.S. perspective, I worry about whether we know well enough whether those 3 facilities were destroyed, especially the one facility that was buried deep, right? Because the one facility was buried deep in the mountain. The U.S. attacked it. Typically, one attack isn't enough. Typically, you've got to go back 2 or 3 times. So it's a little weird, not a little weird, but when Trump came out immediately and said it was completely destroyed. That was a lie. There was no way for, all the experts said there was no way to know. There was no way to know how much damage was done for 2 or 3 days. So Trump lied when he first said that it had been destroyed. I don't know whether we know yet, A, if it was completely destroyed, and B, if it wasn't, is that a good thing? Like, you kind of, I don't know. And, and with Trump, you'll never will know is the problem, of course, so. Yes, this was not to manipulate oil prices. This was to take out Iran's nuclear capability. There's no question about that. There's no question about that. This entire thing was to take out Iran's nuclear capabilities. Absolutely, positively. No question about that. So anyway, so there's a ceasefire, guys. I think it's a good thing. Israel took out sufficient amount of Iran's weapons, sufficient amount of Iran's offensive ability, sufficient amount of Iran's nuclear program. The U.S. really took out 3 main enrichment facilities, which is great. We still don't know what happened to the uranium. There was a report today. One of the stories I was going to get to, there was a report today that Iran may have moved like half of its uranium, might have been moved in advance. And get this, half of their uranium, or maybe it was all the uranium, was moved because Trump, remember when Trump was tweeting and threatening Iran and saying, evacuate Tehran? The Iranians interpreted that the same way I did. They said, oh, Trump is threatening to bomb us. We better move the uranium. So they moved the uranium and spared it, is what we're hearing today. All because Trump went public and had to go brag on Twitter or his Truth Social, same thing as Twitter, that he was going to attack them. And the Iranians said, oh, thank you. And they moved their uranium. So let's see. That was the report. PC Knowles says, read a report on CNBC. They didn't read it. I hope they didn't move it. But we don't know. The other thing is, with Iran, will come after you months later. So who knows if Iran is going to try to get vengeance? Who the heck knows, right? We don't know. But at least for now, they're talking about a real ceasefire, which is good. Well, there will be new blasts for the next 6 hours. It looks like the ceasefire doesn't go into place for maybe 6 hours or so. Again, Trump did a tweet that wasn't really in English, so it's not clear what the details of the ceasefire are. It's funny. This is funny. Yeah. I'm just looking for more of the hold on. I'm trying to make sure that like nobody else retracts the ceasefire again. No. Jerusalem Post seems to be backing it up too. They're saying it's real. Okay, he needs to go away. Sorry, like people I really don't trust popping up in my feed. Yep, sorry, just looking here. Another Israel feed I've got. Yep. Well, reportedly, Reuters, like you guys are saying, a senior Islamic Republic of Iran official has confirmed to Reuters that the Islamic Republic has agreed to a ceasefire. So that would appear to confirm it then. So the initial guy that CNN talked to wasn't clued in, basically. U.S. and Qatar might have negotiated it. He's going to try for his little Nobel. Oh, please. Also, I don't know that you get the Nobel Peace Prize when you bomb another country. This is the problem for the Nobel Committee, too. It's possible Trump helped negotiate the ceasefire, maybe, but he also bombed Iran 3 days ago. Now, I'm okay with what he did, taking out their uranium enrichment. I think was good, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know that you can get a peace prize for a conflict you were a party to. I'm quite serious. I don't know that quite works. But anyway, well, that changes a lot of the news today. There were a lot of warnings today about Iran coming after the U.S. The U.S. embassy in Stockholm was talking about whether Iran was going to use sort of this international mafia type group to go after Americans. I mean, it was all over the place. Well, that's true. Kissinger. Yeah. What else we got? I'm trying to think what else we got here. The White. Okay. As of like a couple hours ago, the White House has still not briefed Congress on what was going on. Congress, the Gang of Eight is supposed to be briefed. Okay. Like by law and also Constitution. Trump's supposed to let Congress know when there's military action. He still has not briefed Congress on the military action that took place Friday. Was it Friday? When was it? Now help me out here. I'm already forgetting when it was. Saturday? When was the God, when did we hit them? Was it Friday? I don't even remember. I'm mixing up all my days here. But he still has not briefed Congress. Saturday? Okay, thanks guys. Which is very bad. I mean, he's making this political, which is really bad. You don't do that. Saturday night. Okay. Yeah, that's bad. I'm trying to look here. Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, honestly, I think this changes all the news. It's funny. I had a ton of stories to tell you, but I don't even know if you need more updates. This is good news. If they can get a ceasefire, that's good. I think Iran's been set back. It was Saturday at 6:40. Okay. I think Iran's been, their nuclear program's been set back. We don't know how much. Oh, thank you for the super chat. We don't know how much has been set back, but Lou is saying, are we still at risk of sleeper cells and will they target commercial airliners? Maybe not. I mean, one hopes that if the Iranians agree to the ceasefire, then they're not going to be coming after us. They're not going to be getting revenge. I don't know. I mean, I kind of think that the problem is that Iran agrees to the ceasefire. That doesn't mean Iran doesn't want to get even, right? And by the way, get even with the U.S. and get even with Israel. Iran may still try to go after the Israeli prime minister, right? Going after the Israeli defense chief, going after Trump, top officials. I don't know. I mean, that's the interesting thing. Exactly. The revenge aspect there. Just because you have a ceasefire doesn't mean you don't try to get revenge later quietly. Well, I say quietly, meaning so no one knows you did it, right? So I don't know about that. That's a really good question, Lou. All of those are things they would potentially do. Yes. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, but no, I think, ceasefire is confirmed. Iran already confirmed it. But let's see. Ceasefire could be broken. Who knows? Right. It's good news in general that this is happening, which is good. We'll see what happens next, whether they keep it, obviously, the ceasefire, but also I just hope that enough damage was done to Iran's nuclear program. There are several press reports out already now of Iran confirming it. Yeah. So, like I said, one Iranian official they talked to an hour ago who wasn't aware, but he was one guy. Let me see here. Let me see here. So Qatar helped do the deal. Saying here. Yeah. Well, as I said, anyway, questions, comments. I don't know. We can talk about whatever you want, guys. This is good news. I mean, again, if we took out enough of Iran's nuclear program, this is good news. Trump is dying for a Nobel Prize, though. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm not getting any other updates here. All right. Well, like I said, Trump announced a ceasefire with between Iran and Israel. That's good. It's, of course, it takes 24 hours for, I guess, the final end of the war to kick in if they abide by the ceasefire. God, what a freak. But this is good news. Hold on. And Iran, that was what I was going to say too. It's very interesting, actually. We didn't even get to talk about Iran's counterattack. So Iran counterattacked today and went after a U.S. base in Qatar. What was interesting is Trump then announced that the Iranians told us in advance that they were going to hit the base. They used like 14 missiles. One missile went awry, so we didn't need to stop it. 13 of the missiles were stopped by our Patriots or whatever the heck we used. The bases were evacuated or whatever needed to be done. So nobody got hurt, no property, nothing got hurt. And Trump publicly thanked the Iranians a couple hours ago before the ceasefire thing for letting us know they were going to attack, which is fascinating. All right, I'll put CNN back on. Is more happening? Feisty. A little hot out there, huh? Yeah, not so much fun. All right, we'll try CNN again. Let's see here. Not Aaron Burnett. Oh, it is Aaron Burnett. Yes. Let's put Aaron Burnett back on. All right. Join live. All right. Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Oh, Barack's there.
All right, and obviously all very significant developments. Paula, of course, all happening as Barack is laying out over several hours. We have not yet heard.
Right. They're still attacking each other, but we knew that was going to happen for a few more hours. Both sides said they had some attacks to finish, you know. You know.
Exactly. And the announcement that the president gave was 2 a.m. here, 1 a.m.
Yeah, I think it's still kicking in over the next 6 hours or whatever. So I don't think that's quite. You know. Yeah, I never listened to Fox. Would you listen to Fox? I would never listen to Fox. I don't listen to partisan news. I won't listen to partisan news. I won't listen to news stations that work for one political party. That's I like and listen to news stations that criticize both parties. CNN destroyed Joe Biden last year. Fox News has never destroyed Donald Trump. Certainly not now. They went negative on the insurrection for a while, and then they got all Trumpy again. Fox News never criticizes Trump. CNN hates Joe Biden. You won't find Fox News doing that. So no, I will never get my news from Fox News. Maybe right now, if you're trying to figure out what the Trump administration people are saying, Fox News has a good access. That's true. So they would have good access to tell you what Trump people are saying. But Fox News is not going to report the news. No, because they're a partisan news. They're a political party news network. And again, it's just you guys cannot get news from news outlets working for one political party. You've got to go to a news outlet that criticizes both parties. And everybody likes to criticize New York Times. My God, New York Times probably single-handedly stopped Hillary Clinton from getting elected. You know, do you think Fox News has ever done that to Trump? Please. I mean, you know, so yeah. Yeah, there's let me see here. Looking more.
before of this ceasefire, then we'll get both sides working.
Oh God, she's out of her mind.
Yeah,
Wow.
it does come, and I understand rhetoric can be different than reality, but Iran is saying.
God,
they're saying
absolutely
that
crazy.
ceasefire
Just looking here.
The FBI is a rise in threat level to American.
Oh, ow,
as
ow,
well
ow,
as
ow.
to US bases of retaliatory attacks.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is good. This is good. Like I said, hopefully the hand. So I have trigger finger and had it like, 10 years ago. And then it came back again 2 years ago. And we tried steroid injections and all sorts of fun things. And it never went away. And it was constantly getting worse. So finally they did surgery today without going through gross details, but the tendon or whatever the hell it is that moves your finger, which the doctor showed me, kind of creepy, but kind of cool. He literally showed me the thing that pulls your finger back and forth. But he, it gets caught. It gets caught as it's pulling. It's like a little string that you pull to move your finger. Imagine like on a puppet. You pull the string and your finger moves, and it got caught because it was getting swollen. It couldn't go through whatever little hole in your hand it does to pull. And they go, is it a tendon though? He was using a different word. I don't think, is it a tendon though? I'm not sure if it's a tendon. That was the only reason I wasn't saying tendon. He was using like different words. He was using a different word and I don't remember now. But in any case, whatever it is, I know ligament. It wasn't ligament or tendon, but that doesn't mean it's not a tendon. It might be. Pulley is the word he kept using. Thank you, LT Cannon. He kept saying pulley. And I kept saying, yeah, but is it a tendon? And he goes, it's similar fibrous material. Yeah, no, he was, that's what I mean. He was, granted, I was on the table, not very happy at that time, but bottom line is this long thing, like imagine on a puppet, there's a long thing that goes to your hand. And when you pull it down, your finger goes down. When you go up, your finger goes up. That long thing gets swollen, it gets irritated, and it starts to through your hand, there's a hole it goes through. It doesn't go through the hole, it gets stuck. So literally you will close your hand and your hand will open and one finger will get stuck and then finally open like it triggers. Boom. They call it trigger finger. And eventually it keeps getting bad and bad. And eventually you can get it stuck entirely, which I did not want. But after 2 years of it getting worse and worse and worse, I finally was like, all right. So they do the procedure to open up the hole. So the thingy, I'm going to look this up. So the thingy moves better. But it's just not fun though. It's like the only thing I don't like is my fingers are still a little cold and this thing is not that tight. I'm just making sure like it's not, blood to the fingers, but I don't think this is very tight. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. A little bit weird, the finger thing. I'm like, because I keep touching it and going, why are my fingers a little cold? Yeah, I know. I'm trying to, this part's okay. It's the surgery was here. The surgery is right at the base of your finger. Well, the numbness, I know I just don't like that. It's actually the fingers are a little cold, which is weirding me out, but the fingers would be cold from the numbing. Oh, the only thing is good point. It's the numb fingers that are colder. Actually, this one's getting better. These two, the fingers that are the coldest are the numbest. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe that is it. I was worried about restriction. That was my concern. Okay. Yeah, no, because I wanted to make sure this wasn't too tight, but I already loosened up the cover, so this is not too tight. Underneath it, there's a white bandage underneath it that I can't adjust. But yeah, no, I was just, you know what I mean? Because you worry when stuff is tight. You don't want to have it be too tight, right? Hold on. I'm asking this about the finger thing. So anyway, yes. So there's a ceasefire, which is very good. Very good. So, well, the fingers are pink, of course, because they're, all right, hold on. I can't even tell. I can't even tell. Somebody said check your fingernails. I can't even tell on my regular fingernails what's going on. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. I mean, they kind of turn white when you push them, and then they're, yeah, they're turning white. You're right. I see. No, I'm kind of pushing them. They're turning white, and then they get better once I let go. It should be. I mean, I just worry because you don't want stuff that's too tight. Anyway, you do not keep them below your heart. No. You keep them above your heart. Because you've got to keep it above your heart as much as possible so that it doesn't get swollen. I don't know. Oh, pulley. Yeah, the pulley thing came up again. Fibrous pulleys. That's exactly it. It literally is called a pulley. That's the thing we were talking about. A series of fibrous pulleys guide tendons and keep them close to the bone. They're often involved in trigger finger issues. So the pulley, I think the pulley is the thing, like I said, that he was talking about. Yep. A1. It was just A1 and A2. Yep. I was just Googling this. So in any case, oh, thanks, Diane. Yeah, I mean, I can Google stuff. I mean, it's fine. I can Google, but it's just, I was trying to understand. Maybe that's it too, because it's above the heart. Yeah. No, he said to keep it high because that way you keep the swelling down. And I'm doing, ice every hour. I stopped 20 minutes into the show because it's only 20 minutes at a time. So I'll be doing, no. Anyway, we're fine. We're fine. How do I like ChatGPT? I love ChatGPT, but it's wrong sometimes. And that's what I don't like. I have found ChatGPT can be bravely wrong. There was an article about this actually, and like quite literally, it's boldly wrong sometimes, and it's very like proudly wrong. I'm going to turn off the TV again, which I find a little strange. Sometimes it's just, and I don't like that. And it gets like, I've given it articles to summarize for me, for example, like for you guys, for the show. And I'm like, take this article, give me a paragraph summary. And I'll literally look at the summary and be like, that's not what I mean, or it'll get certain data points wrong. Like, oh, the invasion, it claimed we invaded at like 9 p.m. or not invaded, but we attacked Iran at 9 p.m. And I'm like, no, we didn't. We attacked like at 6:50 p.m. And then it said something like, and Trump announced it. No, Trump announced it at 9 p.m. I'm like, no, he didn't. He announced it like right after, whether it was 7 or 8, but it wasn't 9 p.m. And it literally, like, it does stuff like that. It just comes up, and what's troublesome about ChatGPT is it comes up with very specific errors. It will tell you things that are false, and it'll be very precisely false. Oh, it was exactly this time that Trump did it. You're like, no, it wasn't. So yeah. But I've had amazing stuff done as well. You've had 3 fingers done. Oh my God. There may be therapy. I go and see my doc on Thursday. Just had it done today. So, anyway, but yeah, but I've had answers that look very credible. It's kind of difficult because you don't always know, right? The hallucination thing is called, exactly what Jason mentioned. I've had ChatGPT once. I told you guys I was asking. Iran did agree to a ceasefire, but we've talked about it. So now we're doing the hangout part of the show for a couple minutes. I've had ChatGPT once. I was asking it about, was it Deepwater Horizon or what was it? Not Deepwater Horizon. No. The submersible that blew up 2 years ago when it was going down to the Titanic. I'm forgetting the name. And I asked it about it because there was a documentary about it and Damien was over and I was like, was it Titan? I don't think it was Titan. Was it? Ocean Gate. Ocean Gate's the word I was looking for. Yeah. And I was asking it about the disaster. And it said, it pulled it up and it said to me, gave me the information, and it says, oh, so this is the submersible that went down and like exploded right near the Titanic, underwater, killed everybody. And I was asking it something and it said, oh, would you like me to give you a video graphic showing the explosion? And I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. Sick, but cool. So I said, sure. And it said, I can't do that. I don't do graphics, graphics meaning like a video, like an animated video. And I was like, you just offered me to do an animated video. I know, but I don't do them. Then why did you offer me? That was a mistake. So I got into this whole discussion with it. I was like, you're a computer. How do you make mistakes about what your capacities are? Why would you offer me a video like when you don't make, or not videos, but right when you don't do that? And it's then I forced it to answer me, and it finally said, well, there's this thing called hallucinations that I do sometimes. And it said, for example, I'm trained to be helpful and supportive, and I've been trained to give the kind of answers a human would want. And therefore, I anticipated that since you were asking how it happened, you might like to see how it happened. And that's why I offered to show you how it happened, even though I can't. And I was like, okay, that's like literally how nuclear wars are going to start, right? Like you give a computer a program, it's within its program, and it literally goes outside of its programming, right? Because it just, and it starts telling you stuff that's false. because it thought I wanted to hear, hey, wouldn't it be neat to create an animated graphic? So it told me it could and offered to do it. I was like, that's just scary. So ChatGPT, do you want to play a game? Exactly. Would you like to play a game? Having said that, it's a tremendous, ChatGPT I find absolutely tremendous. I've asked it questions on foreign policy stuff. I mean, I've studied foreign policy, worked in it, but I've asked it questions on foreign policy that it was very interesting. I asked it one thing. We were talking about this. Somebody had shared a graphic on Twitter that was showing 10,000 guerrillas attacking at war on a battlefield, 10,000 guerrillas versus 1 million men. And it had them going at each other. And I thought, oh, that would be kind of fun to ask ChatGPT. I said, ChatGPT, who would win in a battle on a battlefield between 10,000 guerrillas and 1 million men? And it said, well, actually, the men would win because and it walked through it. But the thing is, this is where it gets interesting. It walked through it and it said things like, the problem is you've got, I think it said 100 men for every gorilla. And it said, the problem is the men are fighting the gorilla, and the gorilla would initially kill a lot of men and it would throw them and hurt them. But but as each man gets killed, another man arrives because there's 100 men per gorilla. Well, the 99th, the 98th, the 97th, the 96th man, they're all waiting and resting while the gorilla is hitting 100, hitting man 99, fighting man 98, fighting. Once you get down to like the last guy standing, he is fresh. The gorilla has had to fight 99 people. I was like, okay, that's actually very interesting. Like that was something I just hadn't thought about. Now maybe I would have if had you made me think about it, but stuff like that I find very. So then I asked it. I said, okay, how many gorillas would you need to beat 1 million men? And I forgot what it might have said 50,000, but that was fun too to watch it go through the analysis. I find ChatGPT fascinating. You know what it is? Let's put it this way. ChatGPT is like talking to a very smart friend. Sometimes they get it wrong, but they're very smart and they make you think. That would be, let's find out, Oberlish. Hold on. I had asked you a while ago about who would win in a battle on a large battlefield between 10,000 guerrillas and 1 million men, period. I don't know if you remember, but who do you think would win? I'm going to ask it. Then we're going to ask it about the machine guns. Although the machine guns, I'm sure they'll lose. Great question. I remember the hypothetical. It's going through all of this, which is funny. Humans win barely. Oh, this is saying barely. Oh, this time. Okay. Last time it said humans win easily. This time it's saying barely. Staggering losses, but 1 million is simply too many. Hold on. How many humans would survive? But the analysis is what's interesting. It goes through starting numbers. Gorillas, 10,000. Humans, 1 million. No guns or explosives. Humans have basic melee weapons. Good point. Gorillas fight to the death. Humans fight in waves. One gorilla can kill 20 to 50 humans before being taken down. Let's average it at 25 humans. killed per gorilla. That's a modest estimate. It goes through the whole the math. Estimated survivors 600,000 to 800,000 humans. That's a lot. Oh, but the survivors will have PTSD for generations. Okay, what if the gorillas have guns? Just for fun. If the gorillas have guns, it shifts dramatically. The gorillas have modern firearms. Even 10,000 armed humans can dominate 100,000 unarmed ones. If the gorillas are armed with guns, trained, reasonably organized, the gorillas win easily, likely within a day. Estimated survivors 6,000 to 9,500 gorillas. That's almost all of that's almost all of them. Oh, humans. I mean, humans less than 100,000, possibly under 50,000. This is what and it walks through why. This is what I find fascinating is it literally gives you its analysis. And again, its analysis might not be right, but it's interesting. Like it says, well, you got to consider the weapons. For example, it asked me early on, it said, well, are the men well organized? Do they have weapons? Have they had any military training? Like it's asking stuff where you're like, oh yeah, those would be good things to think about. You know, really, really interesting. Ceasefire is real. Yeah, ceasefire is real. Initially, there were reports that maybe the Iranians hadn't agreed. But then media confirmed multiple, I'm going to pull it up again. Multiple media confirmed that the Iranians did in fact agree to the ceasefire. Hang on a sec here. Pull up more here. Just pulling to see what else I can find here about the ceasefire. I think you're right about my hand being up. You're funny because now my second finger was cold too, and it's not as cold that I've been keeping it down. Okay. I'm feeling better now. Like I said, I was a little creeped out about the finger getting a little, cold. But he said, keep it up because it'll stop it from getting swollen and that will help healing. And I was like, all right. I'm just looking here. So yeah, it looks like the ceasefire is real. Pulling it up again, but the Iranians have in fact confirmed. Hold on. Behind the scenes, this is Barak Ravid, who's very good with Axios. The ceasefire was agreed upon through Qatari and American mediation between Israel and Iran. After the attack, Iran sent a message to the White House through Qatar that it will not conduct any further attacks. A source with direct knowledge says the White House sent a message back stressing that it will not retaliate to the Iranian attack and that the U.S. is ready. Oh, this is after the Iranians attacked the base today. Trump responded that we will not retaliate to the Iranian attack and that the U.S. is ready to resume negotiations. Afterwards, talks continue between the U.S. and Israel and between Qatar and Iran to agree on the terms of the ceasefire and the time it would begin. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it's real. Well, we do thank Qatar. I mean, the White House, who the hell knows? Trump is so desperate for a Nobel. I'm also, the thing too is I'm not entirely convinced, like, I'm sorry, but, even if you helped stop a 12-day war. Okay. I mean, looking for any, after 24 hours, an official end to the war will be announced. Well, we'll see. I mean, again, I think it's good news. Hopefully enough damage was done to Iran's military and nuclear facilities, because that's still, and we can get into this again, but I don't want to go too long tonight. We stopped late. We started late because we were having technical problems, but I don't want to go too late because we're being nice to my voice. But in the end, Iran is not a good guy here. Their government is a theocratic dictatorship that kills its own people, and has supported terrorism in the entire region and worldwide. Very bad. One of the worst governments on the planet. One of the worst governments on the planet. And I'm talking, some of you don't like Israel. Israel doesn't hold a candle to how bad Iran is. Iran cannot be permitted to get a nuclear weapon. Israel attacked too soon. Thank you, Hayden. I'm saying Aiden for the gift. Israel attacked too soon, I think. I think the negotiations were still going on. It still would have been interesting to see what happens with that. But once Israel, attacked a lot and set back Iran's defenses, set back Iran's nuclear program, then it became interesting for the US, because at some point, America and Europe too, frankly, will either have to get Iran to negotiate and give up their nuclear program, or we will have to take it out ourselves. I don't think it was time yet for us to take it out, because I would have still tried negotiations. But once Israel jumped the gun and it already destroyed so much of Iran's, they controlled the airspace and they destroyed surface air missiles, everything. Then it became interesting, because then you had a unique opportunity to go in and take out a significant portion of Iran's nuclear program. That's why in the end, hello, hi, I know, just wait. What do you want? What do you want from me? The dog is like, oh, the dog wants her treats, of course, because she's spoiled now. That's why I will say, I don't know if I wanted Trump to attack, but when Trump attacked, I was glad he attacked. So let's see. So far, looks like this worked out well, so far, especially if they're having a ceasefire now. So knock on wood, but ceasefire is confirmed. Let's see, 24 hours, it turns into the end of the war. That'd be good. And Iran's been set back significantly. I still would like to see Iran's people freed, but that's not an easy thing to pull off in a dictatorship, but let's see. Stop. I will pick you up and show you to people. You want that? She wants a treat, but she's been getting, in her old age, she's getting stronger and stronger with her begging, my dog. She's like, "Rrr." Now she's going back to her bed. Okay, that's good. All right, guys. Ceasefire is real. Yeah, ceasefire is real. The Iranians confirmed it. Let's see what happens. The Qatar attack was not staged, but it was fake. It was kind of fake. The Iranians let the Americans know that they were going to attack. They were going to fire 14 missiles. They weren't going to try to hit anything. They gave them advance warning so they could move everybody out, but they wanted to just fire 14 missiles at the U.S. base to say, we fired at the Americans, but they literally told us we're doing it because we got to save face with our own people, and we're not going to try to hit you. And we fired the missiles. We took them all out. They didn't hit, and that was it. I mean, it's a little weird. I don't quite understand from an Iranian perspective why that works. Like, Iran has turned off the internet to its people, but at some point the internet's going back on for Iranians, and they're going to know that their government faked it. So how does that help? You know what I mean? Like, I don't quite understand how that helps, because if people know it was kind of a fake attack, then how does it help you save face, right? A little weird. In any case, that's what it is. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go. It's 7:37. I'm going to preserve my voice. Obviously, as we always say, any big news, I'll come back. But this is good. It's good news. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow, 6 o'clock Eastern. So, very good news. All right. Thanks for joining, everybody. Appreciate it. Thanks for Discord and YouTube for hanging with the technical difficulties. As I said, we may have to, I've got to reach out. Was it CWT or whoever who is helping me on the computer front? I may have to start looking at a laptop again. It bugs me because my laptop works great other than streaming for the show on YouTube, which is very annoying. All right, Discord, have a good night. Signing off with you guys first. I mean, my laptop is old, but it annoys me that it works great for everything except YouTube. Every meal asking for food. Yeah, they're fun. All right. See you, YouTube. All right. TikTok, you're next. All right.